staff for allowing me to stand up here because I'm no public speaker, as you'll find out. But as Dr. Kaufman said, we started at Southside in 2008, and Austin was a freshman. Now he's a junior, just finished his junior year at Clemson. And Ashlyn is sitting right here, straight in front of me, and she will be graduating and then going to PC. So this is a wonderful place, as we can tell by this packed gym. This is an awesome school. Y'all are just blessed to be here. So Dr. Kaufman, we were here back in January, a cold Sunday, doing a luncheon for Ashland's Mexico engagement team. We were doing a wrap-up luncheon, showing a video, and the students were talking. Kelly and I were trying to slip out a little early. We had to attend a funeral. We weren't sneaky quite enough. Dr. Kaufman chased us out into the hall and he said, Lee, we would like for you to be the commencement speaker in 2015. Our first reaction was, whoa, I don't know that I can do this. So after a lot of prayers and talking it over with Ashlyn, I accepted the challenge. So he told me I had two things to do. Well, actually, he said I could talk for 30 minutes. So are y'all comfortable with that? No, really. He said I had 5 to 7 minutes. I had two things, 5 to 7 minutes, and to give 73 a challenge. So your challenge is, what will you do? So remember that. What will you do? All right. That's your challenge. What will you do? I can't read anymore, sorry. Getting old. You passed this test in your life, and now you're moving on to college or a career or whatever. But you're leaving Southside, a place that you've been comfortable for, some of you guys, since kindergarten. Some of you guys just for a couple of years. This has been home with your parents, with your grandparents, with your teachers, your coaches. You're going to make new friends. Please don't forget these people. Please don't forget the people in this room. There's been a lot of sacrifices made by the people sitting back behind you and around you so you could get a good Christian education here at Southside. Don't forget them. You're going to make new friends, and that's great, but don't forget the people in this room. Don't dishonor them. Don't dishonor your family name. And most importantly, don't dishonor God. I believe Southside and your parents, your family have given you a great foundation. Has it been perfect? No, but it never is. But you have a solid foundation. You're 18 years old, you've been molded, and now you're on your own. I recently heard something that made a lot of sense to me. It said, if you mess it up in the foundation, it will follow you all the way to the roof. I'm in the construction business, and I know if we mess up a foundation, it's going to mess up the whole job. So let's hear that again. If you mess it up in the foundation, it's going to follow you all the way to the roof. Well, I honestly believe y'all have a great foundation. But what you do with it is up to you guys. So remember that challenge. What will you do? Some of you guys will excel and do very well. Some of you guys will make some bad decisions. Some of you will mess up. That's life. That's life in the fast lane. Where you go from here is your choice. There'll be trials. There'll be thorns. It won't all be roses. As God says in James 1, verses 2 through 4, consider it pure joy, my brothers, when you face trials of many kinds, because you know that testing of your faith develops perseverance. Perseverance must finish its work so that you may be mature and complete, not lacking anything. What will you do? You're an adult. Back when I was 18, that meant a little bit more maybe than it does now, but you're considered an adult. No more mom looking over your shoulder. No more mom saying, eat your vegetables. Don't drink that. Don't eat that. Go to bed. Do your homework. No more of that. It's up to you guys. What will you do? Will you go to class? It's 20 degrees outside. It's cold. Will you go to class? It's raining outside. Will you go to class? not going to say who just said no. I caught you. What will you do? Will you study instead of checking Facebook or playing a video game or sleeping or just plain being lazy? What will you do? The choice is up to you guys. I honestly believe each and every one of you has just a wonderful future in store. But you got to make the right decision. So what will you do? I've teased Austin for years that Southside is, who watched Andy Griffith? Maybe y'all are too young for that, but Andy Griffith. I've teased him for years that Southside was Mayberry and college was the big city. Think about that, Mayberry in the big city. You're leaving this confined, great place with rules and regulations, some that y'all don't like, but they're there for your good, to college, to the big city. So when you get there, find a good group of friends, stick with them. We've all seen geese flying over. Now you're probably thinking, what in the world is he talking about a goose for? All right, one goose can fly a long way. But when a flock gets together, they can fly 70% further. So, get with a good group of friends, like-minded guys and gals, and fly with them. If you find the wrong flock, though, you're going to go the wrong way 70% faster. So watch who you fly with. All right. In closing, I recently read that life is like rowing a boat. You only know where you've been. For you guys, that's from birth to high school graduation. Sounds pretty simple, but you think about it, it makes sense. We don't know what lies ahead. Y'all don't know what lies ahead. Only God does. But I assure you that God is with you. He's with you in the good. He's with you in the bad. Life is complicated. Life's not fair. Life has challenges. It's up to you. What will you do? What will you do? Which path will you take? Will you take the high road with God, or you take the low road with the world? It's up to you. You'll probably make some bad decisions. You'll turn down a wrong road. We all have. But what you do with that will determine where you end up. Sorry, I'm sweating a little bit up here. Okay, AC just turned. So when you make that bad decision, learn from it. Forget about it. And move on. But don't blame others. Don't complain about it. And don't get bitter. Get better. What will you do? Paul writes in Ephesians 6. Ephesians 6 verses 10 through 12. Finally be strong in the Lord and his mighty power. Put on the full armor of God so that you can take your stand against the devil's schemes. For your struggle is not against flesh and blood, but against the rulers, against the authorities, against the powers of this dark world, and against the spiritual forces of evil in the heavenly realms. All right, the last time, I want y'all to say it. What will you do? All right, I talked to Dr. Reel before. He said, y'all are not going to remember anything I said. I hope you do, but at least remember, what will you do? There were bracelets years ago that what would Jesus do? So what will you do? We're so proud of all you guys. We have a small little gift that hopefully you'll take, and it'll remind you of Southside, and you'll read it daily. And we just wish the best for everybody, and remember, what will you do? God bless you.